Okay, we're on. Speak.
Oh, I'm starting today? Oh, okay. That's funny. Well,
hey, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm
back for another one.
I'm kind of off in a little outer space today, so it's going to be kind of fun to watch. Or listen to anyway. Well, we got Todd with us today, which is a good thing. It's
What's
always
up,
fun
guys?
to have Todd. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, Todd. Tell us what your games.
Man, it's been crazy. I missed the last cast because we had the time change. I couldn't do it on the Friday where we did the cast, but
yeah.
I'm gonna start trying to make more of these. I'm really
cool
getting into my groove with the whole game making thing and flushing all that out. So
cool.
It's starting to move along, and I'm getting a routine going. I'm getting it figured out. So that's gonna free up some time. So hopefully I can start coming and doing more of this because I really enjoy it. I miss it. I've got a lot of ideas that I want to bring back, and I'm having fun with it. So
that sounds good.
What about you guys? How's the dog doing? I noticed she's grown another 2 or 3 inches.
She's like 32 pounds right now. She's a pretty big girl.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my wife wanted another female dog, and it's she's a good dog. Females are good dogs, but males are a little more. They're just a little more subdued in their manner, and they're easy. This one's a little hard-headed. I actually call her a little Annette because she's a lot like my wife. But she's a sweet girl. She's getting big. She's healthy, and she's having a lot of fun. But I can't wait for those damn baby teeth to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
God. Dang,
it's like grabbing a bag of needles.
It
man.
is. It's pretty harsh. But
she's when the bag of needles grabs you.
Yeah, because she does. They're some sharp teeth. But other than that, and I'm just sitting here watching East Texas burn to the ground, all these refineries catching on fire around here. I mean, we just had that other one in Crosby. It's like, that's the second one.
Did they get that out? I haven't seen. I was watching it. I was on the treadmill at the gym watching that unfold last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they got it under control. Did they get that back under
control? Yeah, they did. The one over there they did in Crosby. The one in Deer Park, the ITC plant. No, that unfortunately, that one's still having issues. I don't think it's burning. But
when the second one that they had one fatality.
Right? Oh, that was the one in Crosby. Yeah, they had a unit blow up and kill a guy, and it's sad because I mean, used to be back in the day when we didn't have all the technology, these places would run pretty decent.
Yeah,
I mean when they blew it was pretty big, but they didn't blow as often. Now that you have these multi-crafts. And
all these layers of security with electronics.
When you have contractors rolling in and out of these instead of seasoned long-term employees that hear the sound. The kind of guy that when an engine's ticking and he just takes the hammer and hits it in one spot and everything's fine.
He knows his job.
Yeah, he knows his job. They don't have that anymore. Now they have a checklist and they run through this crazy checklist, and by the time they get halfway through the checklist, it blows up.
Right, which is I mean, it's almost comical in the sense of because when they start armchair quarterback, it's like, did you run the checklist? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it still blew up, dumbass.
Yeah, because they didn't know that part.
Only made it to C.
Well, they're notorious for firing all their experienced employees. Is what they are because they make too much money.
I know Shell's going through that right now. I have a bunch of friends that work at one of the Shell plants. I won't say which one, but. They a lot of the seasoned folks are leaving. They're being offered retirement packages to leave, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Well, when you get down to like the whole process part, it almost boils down to you have this one guy that's like, but it has electrolytes. This was a step, and we checked it. It's like there's unless you know what that step looks like. You're just
they just know the reading. They don't know the cause. Or
you're looking
the
to just check something.
And I've got some friends that are senior guys in these big oil and gas companies, and we had a conversation the other day about this, and they were talking about a lot of these engineering jobs are being farmed off to India, and so these guys in India are doing all these engineer jobs over there, and they're shipping back the information here, and then they do the work here. Well, they had to send this guy over as a consultant because of ethics.
Oh, wow.
He spent most of his time talking to him about work ethic and business ethics.
Right. Business ethics.
And all the things that are involved. And he goes, but the sad part about it is we're getting farther and farther and farther away from when we found these businesses to where they're being run mostly by accountants now.
What you want to do here is not use the pot metal and the Schedule 40 pipe. We need this one to hold, fellas.
Yeah, PVC and some glue ain't going to work on this one.
When the bean counters start dictating the quality of work.
Well, that's it. That's always a battle. Having been in that environment and that side of it from my dad when my dad was alive, watching that take place. That was the constant battle. One year one year Dad would be selling, and the bean counters would have control of it.
Yep.
And times would get lean, and materials would get sparse in what they used and the quality of materials that they used. And then the plant engineer, they'd have something happen, and the plant engineer would take back over, and he'd be running the money at that point. And it was an interesting battle to watch over the years that my dad did it.
Yeah, and its government has turned into that.
Yeah.
Used to be where you can go in there and you would have somebody that was a seasoned business owner, or a founder of a community or a founder of an industry. And now we got these popularity contests run on social media.
Yeah.
And we get these clowns like AOC.
Yeah.
And we love talking about her because so we're doing a new thing.
The Pseudo Experts.
Yeah, the Pseudo Experts, and we have a lot of those.
Yeah.
We were listening to a clip beforehand about a guy that was what did you call him? What was that Steve Carell character? Something Mike?
Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
And
the guy says, "Oh, so where'd you get your experience from?" Well, from the internet mostly.
From the internet.
And that's kind of
50-50.
Yeah, and that's kind of the world we live in because now people are learning politics on the internet.
Right.
Before we went live, we were watching a clip between Beto and AOC.
Yeah.
And so this is the freshman class of like total stupid fucking morons we're rolling into the world right now. And they're sitting there in front of an audience. And we talked about this last week with Joe the lawyer, to where their job is specifically to talk to people 25 and younger.
Yeah.
And the problem with 25 and younger is nobody fact checks. Those dumb shits just line up and follow.
No, they hit bullet points and go right down them, and they go, oh, yeah, that's a fact.
The only reason you chose that person is because they relate to a certain demographic, because that demographic will only listen to somebody who's
a dude that rode a skateboard. A dude that rode a skateboard in a Waterburger parking lot.
Yeah. It was this,
good job, Jack.
Yeah, we have that kind of, and it's really becoming a big problem because not only is it with these political characters, and we're probably going to jump in and out of a few of these because this is just one of those Thursdays for us.
It's going to be a little fluid.
But then we have Hollywood getting involved in it. And the one that's really stretching my brain, and I'll be honest with you, it's really kind of got me in a bad mood today. And it's just, I'm listening to this this chick from Poison Ivy, the one always taking her clothes off. Let me see.
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano.
And this was not an endorsement to go look up her fucking movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. But if you want to see her jugs, they're out there. Yeah. They're all over the internet. Just plug it in, and you can see this naked girl running around now, embracing the world like she's the moral police now.
Oh, yeah.
And what's funny is there was a movie that came out about this abortion clinic worker that found her way past it and went the other way and started fighting the abortion.
Yeah, Unplanned.
Unplanned, that's the movie. And what was really funny is that movie's been met with all kinds of resistance.
Social media resistance, public resistance.
But it's really selling out everywhere it goes. And so what's funny about movie theaters now is if you get enough people to pre-buy tickets, they will actually play these movies now, which is really a great move, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
Because they're not going to take a risk as a theater to put it out there. But if you pay for it and you bring your own group in, and that's where this movie's picking up. But she's Miss Milano is completely against it because in her infinite wisdom, Hollywood is all about promoting the murder of babies, it sounds like to me.
Infanticide.
Yeah, infanticide. And it's funny because she puts herself on this moral pedestal.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is coming from a girl who's been a Hollywood
Bufflehead
pass around.
She's been in front of a camera.
She's been a pass around. No, seriously, she's been a pass around. I'd like to hear her real stories about how she was abused because she has them. Who
was the guy they went after about the sexual harassment?
Weinstein?
Yeah, Weinstein. Imagine Weinstein.
Yeah, because imagine
she's
been in
it. Merry-go-round.
This poor girl's been in it since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
I bet you'll find freaking his DNA all over her shit.
It's got to be, or somebody related to that.
Sure.
So now she goes on the offensive because I remember during the Kavanaugh hearings, and she was sitting in the room. I don't know how she gets this pass.
Yeah.
Well, I know because her husband's Bulgari, and there's this big watch and clothes, and I mean they're just huge consumable products family.
Right.
Anyway, she's in the Senate. She's in the room during the hearing, and she's videotaping from behind, and so the sergeant of arms had to go up to her more than once and say,
"She doesn't take instruction.
None whatsoever."
Isn't that like you're forbidden?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have any recording. Now, if you're the press corps, if you
better have
notice,
credentials.
they're sitting on the floor up front, facing. They're kind of between the line of fire. They're literally sitting on the floor.
Not to change gears here, but that's got to be a shit stick job sitting in front of that.
Oh yeah,
Just crouched down like that whole time. That's some strong knees on those dudes.
Or they're sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just sitting.
It's a difficult job.
So
but anyway, getting back to it, she's recording like an idiot.
Yeah, so she's recording, and so she doesn't take instruction well. So we were kind of going through some of her videos, and she was at the Senate in Georgia.
Yeah,
because her latest thing is about
the heartbeat bill.
The heartbeat bill in Georgia. And so she's out there representing women's rights.
Right.
My uterus speaks through me.
But what's funny is we also listened to some counter interviews, and the actress that was in the movie, Unplanned, Ashley, whatever her last name was, she made some really good points. She goes, if you listen to her, she's never really talked about anything about women's rights. It was mostly about money.
Yes, it comes down to money.
Coming down to money, taking Hollywood and pulling Hollywood out of Georgia. Because, Georgia spent millions of dollars, or probably billions of dollars, promoting the movie industry in Georgia, and that was a lot of that.
Because a lot of states, when movie or entertainment companies started moving out of California because they were getting overtaxed, they started looking everywhere.
And they did. In Georgia made them a nice package.
Yeah.
It's funny. I have a friend that we're all acquainted with, Rob, who has a drone company, and it's drones specifically designed to work in movies. And he moved his whole company from Houston to there specifically for that. So the market has been huge. Wow, okay. There is a big push to get the money there. So,
well, all I know is that Smokey and the Bandit, back in the, that was my favorite when you start seeing Georgia in the movies. What he did, movies like Gator and all these other movies that were all filmed out there. And so Georgia's always been in the mix for movies. It always has been. But so she's out there saying, you look at this rogues character lineup of
Rogues
celebrities.
Gallery.
Rogues, there you go. That's the word. Rogues gallery of morons that are in line with her. You've got Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Bradley Whitfield. Bradley Whitfield was the punk on Revenge of the Nerds. The only thing I remember him from. Yeah. I know he's been in other movies, but that's where I just remember him from.
They called him what'd you say, like a B-list?
Yeah, B-list actor.
Some of the stuff that I looked at, I was like, man, this is like D-list.
The one thing that Ron Perlman has done that I liked is not Hellboy. I couldn't stand that movie. But in Aliens Resurrection, he was the nut job in that, and his character was actually pretty good. So shame on you, Ron Perlman, for ruining that for me.
Well, because I remember from SOA, and I hated his character.
Yeah,
in that show.
See, it's funny. There's a lot of SOA fans out there. I never really got into that.
Yeah,
it just never really ticked my box.
I enjoyed the story.
I get the draw. It's just not my cup of tea.
He played a shitbag, and
now he is a shitbag.
When he takes the shitbag clothes off, turns out he is a shitbag.
So it wasn't a stretch. It was an easy roll. I'm gonna roll right into this.
Yes.
Yeah, it did. So we go back to Milano, and I guess so it was Who's the Boss, and then she did Charmed.
And my deal about just Hollywood actors or actresses in general is the only time I want to fucking see you is during your allotted time on TV.
Yeah, when it's not you. I don't want to see you when it's. I just want to see you when it's not you.
I don't want to see you on Facebook. Particularly when you're taking up a political cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really don't care what side of it is.
Yeah, I don't care.
I get tired of Ted Nugent. I mean, I like Ted's music.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
And it's like, dude, come on. I know where you're coming from. You're telling me the same shit you told me last week.
And for me, we talked about this a little bit last week. I couldn't stand Trump on Apprentice. I hated The Apprentice.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Fortunately, I never watched it.
I got so tired of hearing his just clopated blabble.
Oh yeah, even
to this day, I get tired of listening to it.
It's hard.
But I always go by what the person does, not by what they say. So when I look at people like her, I go, okay, so this girl here, most of the movies she's made, she's went after married men. Mm-hmm. She's had affairs. Her clothes have come off, and then she's with a bunch of witches doing the same kind of stuff.
Right.
So I tend to think that actors and actresses are basically play who they are in their
the successful ones,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, because that's just an extension of them.
Right.
So when I look at their body of work and then I look at their activism, I can kind of understand where they come from.
It's an easy transition.
It's an easy transition, because when you start thinking about somebody that puts them in the position of a women's rights advocate.
Yeah.
But you don't see a whole lot of people lining up behind her. She is really freestanding.
Well, and a lot of that's
free, self-promoting, freestanding. It's not like you got people saying, "Hey, Melissa, come join our organization."
But like, to go off of what the young lady said that from the movie Unplanned is, when she saw it, she's like, she really didn't speak to the whole women's right thing. She was there to talk about taxes,
and the money,
and for her, she benefits from her stance on whatever she's there for, like the taxes.
Right. Well, the question comes down to, why were there cameras there? Why were they facing her? That's my point. It's what I'm driving at. She had her people there to promote her face, to get her noise out.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Let me ask you something. If you really felt passionately about something and you wanted to dedicate yourself to that cause, and the cause was the focus, like you had a real focus on it, you'd downplay you in that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They never do that. They never seem to do that. It's all about them. Look at me, look at me.
I just thought about that. I was like, okay, if you're there for the cause, why are the cameras there?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's my point.
You're being there to fight for whatever your cause is should be more important than the fact that you're standing in front of the camera lens.
Well, let's take a guy like Gary Sinise, for example.
Yeah.
Gary Sinise does huge things for many, many people, but he never records it. He's very camera shy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even like being given credit for what he does. He just likes to go do. And he continually does and does and does. Right. And I think he has more of an impact and a reach than somebody like her. I think she's just looking for more time up front of the camera. Yeah. I consider her a sideshow freak.
Well, in reality, what has she really done in movie-wise, right? She hadn't really done it.
Nothing
what blockbuster has she ever been in? I can't name one. It's like you said, she drops her top and shows a little side bush, and there she is.
She was in. Who
cares?
She was in Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
remember that little?
Was she 13?
Yeah, a little kid there.
I like the fact that I forgot that she was in that movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just, I don't know. I just look at that.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one.
Arnold probably prefers that you forgot that movie as well. It was pretty bad.
And then she's also got herself in this whole dreamer immigration thing.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you, we can do a month of podcasts just on everything that goes on with this, the convoluted bullshit that's going on in this country right now about the whole immigration thing.
Yeah.
We tend to like to keep it lighthearted and funny, and we do in many, many ways.
Oh, and we can have fun with that too.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, you've got the original dreamers that came here. I mean, think about these people that came back 40, 50 years ago that legitimately came in and went through the real nightmare of really harsh immigration and becoming a citizen and then getting the ability to get medicine and college and all this stuff. And they've turned it into a very successful monopoly for themselves.
Well, and the single greatest thing, the reason they came here was to assimilate. They wanted to be Americans.
Yeah, there you go.
So I had this, I was following a thread on Twitter the other day. And it was a topic about immigration was the topic, and I forget who the original poster was, but something I said made them believe that, I wanted everybody kicked out, and I'm like, my deal is if you didn't come in the right way, leave. Okay, leave. You're going to be escorted out of here much in the same fashion that you got here. Not in a way that, Now, if you want to go back and follow it and enter the right way, doing what everybody else did before you, I have no problem with that. I'm not against people coming in the correct way through our processes.
Nobody is.
So you do it the right way. I have no problem with that.
So I agree with that. So for me, I'll just tell you since we're on this, we bring you in as we need you.
Well, yeah, you can't take the whole world in.
We bring you in as we need you. Because honestly, there are times where the no vacancy sign should be on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Okay? I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, what's really funny is I'll try to make a connection here, and hopefully you guys can work with me on this one.
Hopefully you're going towards the Ilhan chick.
Yeah, well, we're going to get there too, but so what ends up happening with this whole immigration argument is, we know what the real issue is. The Democrats are pandering for votes.
Voters.
Yeah.
You're going to bring these people in, and they're going to be grateful to you, and they're going to vote you because you've lost your voting base.
Right.
You've lost the older people. You've lost the middle ground. The last election, you've lost people you didn't think you were going to lose because of your bullshit games. Okay, so what ends up happening is they send all these people to other countries, sponsor these people in.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go down to Honduras and like Fox News calls it, the 3 Mexican countries. Dude, I like to fell out of my chair when I saw that.
Good job, Fox.
Yeah. And what's funny is they just put a thing out there that said they gained 11 points while CNN lost 11. I'm thinking it had to be over the geography lesson that they blew.
Well, and the beauty of it is I think it was their morning crew that said this. No, it's not the sharpest knives in the drawer that run that.
That's true.
You know, everybody's just kind of waking up and they think, all right, we can tolerate these airheads for about 15 or 30 minutes.
But yeah, so they send legions of people and to bring people into this country. Now, think about that, okay? We have homeless, we have veterans, we have the elderly. What if we kept those resources from going to other countries and firing up people to bring them in here and take care of the people we have here now?
Because they know they can't depend on those folks as a voter base.
No, because that's right. They won't get a vote. Right. And it's no different than what Milano's doing in Georgia.
Absolutely.
It's the same fucking connection. It's the same thing. With these people, what they want is they want your money, they want my money, they want everybody's money so they can hire their friends and all these bullshit committees and all these... It's
really just massive crowdfunding for a party.
All it is.
It's massive.
It really is. They look at us as a GoFundMe taxpayer.
Right. Well, and look at how many people nowadays that you find that have funneled money into personal companies. I just saw one today where Beto's wife was a recipient of $110 million into an internet company that they both owned. But he was not. He had disassociated himself, but his wife was still the head of it.
Yeah.
$110 million. So how would you like to give, you're working for your $40,000 or $50,000 a year, you give your $100 to your political candidate, and you find out that it went to his wife's internet company. You think you'd be pissed off about that.
How do you disassociate yourself from an internet company both you and your wife are part of when your wife is still showing that
well, you don't. Obviously, people don't give a damn.
So you have to run it back to the origin of the business and when the money landed there. Right. Okay? Because remember, this clown ran for Senate and lost big.
Yeah.
Okay? He lost in this state. So you have to wonder, when did that $150 million show up?
Probably afterwards,
shortly afterwards. What do you think enticed him to say, I'm going to go ahead and run for president? That movement of money.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I can give you more money. I don't care if I win or not. I'm going to get a big influx of money.
They pay you. It's just like when you're setting up for a battle and you want somebody to soften the ground. You want to expose all the targets.
Right.
So you run this clown out there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, because I'm going to move into a guy we're going to connect back to Miss Milano and some of these other.
I knew we were going there.
Yeah, and Mr. Beto. And it's going to be smiling, groping Joe Biden.
The hair snipper.
Yeah, okay. So
Groping Joe.
The hair snipper.
Groping Joe. It's funny because he put out a video the other day. I should pull it up because it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. He's addressing his accusers. Mm-hmm. Instead of undressing them for a change, he's addressing them for a change.
His apology tour, right?
Yeah, his apology tour. And it looked like some suave, dirty old man doing a dating video. Yeah. He sat there with his unbuttoned shirt with a suit with his leg crossed, and it was one of those most bizarre...
It's like watching Hugh Hefner saying, I'm sorry for taking pictures of your naked body.
It was like a creeper video. Yeah. It was the weirdest thing
Well, and the apology itself was weird. He's like, back in a time where you could touch people and affirm them and the whole thing, the way he came across was weird.
Is this video where he tries to basically explain his...
why he did it.
I saw
we all watched it. So it's funny, though, listening at him go, this is how we used to do it, but I'm aware of people's personal spaces now.
Of course he is.
I am. Yeah. Now that you caught me, another one that's now that you caught me being a fruit.
It was right after I saw this video, because I watched a portion of it this morning. I have no idea why I went here with this. Yeah. But I was like, I suddenly imagined Joe Biden wearing a Walmart vest, being a greeter. And I'm like, that would be the only time where you would see a fucking line outside the store
at a sex shop. I could see him working at like sex shop or something like that.
Personally, I was hoping when they were doing the interview, I was kind of hoping he would swim up naked. Since,
it's a side known
for that. Yeah, have to have the Hugh Hefner look.
So like that Hair Club for Men commercial, and he flips that.
Well, he's notorious for swimming naked in front of the.
I did not.
Oh yeah, you haven't heard this. So this is the latest thing.
I wish that had never heard this.
Oh, yeah, it's the most disturbing part.
He reminds me of Stu from Californication. You remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Good analogy. Yeah, that's the latest rant on him is he swam naked in front of the female Secret Service agents when he was vice president.
Yeah.
Then they're like, they would like avert their eyes.
Well, and what's even more interesting about Gropin Joe is that his sons have benefited financially.
Huge.
From his influence in political office. Because this came up during the Pelosi Travelgate story.
Right.
To where Biden and his son went over. They went to China.
Yeah.
And there's 2 other countries that they benefited from multi-billion-dollar tech deals for his son's business. And
the minute they got back, they sent the money.
Yeah, it was like a landing click kind of thing, and it was. So it's funny because they play that off. But what I think is even more interesting is Miss Milano comes out to Gropin Joe's defense the other day.
But didn't she cry about Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
What a travesty of justice that was.
So she goes, I believe Kavanaugh's accusers, but I do not believe the people accusing Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's
Christina,
no pictures of Kavanaugh groping anybody.
Ever.
Anywhere. There's hundreds of pictures of Biden
copping a feel and snipping hair.
Creeping on little girls and women and and they're uncomfortable. Physically uncomfortable.
I've seen
so many photos of that kind of behavior.
I've seen videos where if I caught a dude doing that to my wife, I would knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah.
And I don't normally drop the F-bomb, but I'd be fucking knocking your teeth out.
My wife will tell you straight up, I've had that conversation with people that I've worked with before. I had a guy that was like that. And I didn't do it up front of anybody. Yeah. I got him off to the side and said, dude, she's pretty, isn't she? He goes, oh, yeah. I said, if you ever fucking touch her again.
Yeah. You're going to find out.
You're going to find out just how, And it was one of those things where it's like, look, dude, I mean, I don't, I just don't get how this flips back and forth with this young lady, okay, where she puts herself.
Yeah.
Because watching.
It comes down to the money, though. It comes back to what we were talking about is money.
I'm watching where she puts herself.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, because years and years ago, I couldn't find a story because I think they scrubbed it, but years and years ago, her and her family had a couple homes in a cul-de-sac in Georgia.
Okay.
And they got raided by ICE because they had multiple immigrants living. They had
who is this?
Milano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they owned a business and they had these homes they were buying.
Right.
And they were using them for housing these illegal immigrants. This is years ago.
Okay.
That story's been scrubbed. You can't find it now. I wish I'd have kept it.
Well, I know we went looking for it and couldn't find it.
I heard mention of it the other day about this.
Yeah, so she does. So instead of following rules like she says we should.
Yeah.
Or change. She just does whatever she wants. We watched the person that's in charge of the Senate floor try to address her and find out what district she represented.
Right. Yeah,
and she was like, "Don't interrupt me. Let me talk."
Yeah,
I would have just been like the whole Jim Acosta thing. I'd have said, "Well, ma'am, you're banned. You got to leave."
Yeah,
yeah.
You have no business here. You have no business here.
Yeah, what district are you from? No answer. No answer.
Yeah, walking in with basically a film crew.
Yeah,
into like the government.
Novice film crew.
Yeah,
it looked like she went to Best Buy, bought some cameras,
probably did,
and said, "See the red button?" Pointed at me, and that's because the one walking out. The lady walking out.
The Koch brothers don't vote. The Koch brothers don't live here either. That was their parting shot.
So you see the shenanigans that goes on with this one, and it's funny because I don't know. Yeah, we're leading up to this with her because we started something new.
Yeah,
and I think that we're going to continue it, and I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have fun with. But it whiskey and water cooler, we kind of look for ways to just do some fun things.
Yeah, we're going to be a little creative here.
A little creative.
Engage the creative juices.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we're going to develop an award we're going to give weekly with each podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be just a mention, a shout out, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be called the Bottom of the Barrel.
Bottom of the Barrel. That's right. Because I really think she's our
our first pick.
She's the inaugural.
It's not always going to go this way. We're not always going to choose the person or topic that it could be anybody, but this week
it's going to be her.
Yeah, she's deserving.
Yeah, because she really. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm watching her, and I'm listening to her, and I'm really trying to put any kind of I don't know, rhyme or reason to her existence.
Right. She's the quintessential fake tool bag of plastic bananas. I mean, she is by far the worst. I mean, she's a terrible person. Yeah. Everything about her screams, I'm terrible. Yeah. That's just my opinion of her.
Yeah, because you can clearly see it is about the money with her. It really is.
That's what I mean.
Because there's no...
what do you really believe? If you broke it down and said, we're going to put a gun to your head and you're going to tell us the truth, what do you really believe in? I don't think she could come up with an answer.
Yeah. And honestly, and like I started out with, I really think this girl was... I think she was abused as a young actress. I just do. Because in my mind, the casting couch is a real thing.
Yeah.
Well,
and it rolls hard on those young girls.
I believe that as well.
So when, so when they throw out, Hollywood is basically dictating to the rest of America what kind of rules will and will not be policies or whatever. I keep thinking of that. Another story that you don't ever hear anything mentioned about was the whole human trafficking thing.
Oh yeah,
because there was somebody that was linked back to Hollywood.
Yeah,
that had something to do with the human traffic.
Well, the whole ClintonGate thing really rolled up into that. So what ended up happening?
Yeah.
So they found this group. Remember, was it in Arizona where they were some jihadis that had these kids in this camp?
No, New Mexico.
New Mexico, that's where it was. And it was really funny how that came in and then went away.
It was like in and out, like in a couple days.
They erased that site from the planet.
Yeah.
That site has been like scrubbed. But then again, it came back up a couple of weeks ago where they were actually working on prosecution for those people.
Right. Well, they're going to come loose. If you remember, the state attorney in New Mexico said, "Oh, well, there was really no crime here." Yeah. They found a dead body of a child.
Yeah.
It was on site, a 12-year-old child. It's all coming to me.
It was leading back to the city.
It was.
And they were saying that one of the guys was caught up in a Clinton pedophile scandal.
That's right.
Previously.
Right. That's right. Now I'm
you remember that?
Yes.
So what's funny is this little evil head is popping itself up. I mean, I hate... That was that's not the right way to put it.
Yeah.
Evil little head's not what I meant. I mean, but what happens is it's starting to pop up now.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see this thing unravel, and I think that's 90% why.
Yeah.
They don't want to run Hillary again.
Well, it is. And
I do. I feel that is why they don't want to run her.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Because it's ugly. Because Bill, the guy that skates scot-free.
Yeah. Talk about Teflon.
Yeah. Right. Well, because most dudes want to be him.
Yeah.
They want the power.
It would be cool to be a 60.
Yeah,
it would be cool to be a 60-year-old, kind of a single dude because his wife really ain't there for him.
Yeah,
he's kind of a 60-year-old single guy that can get young chicks.
Oh, he's older now.
I think that's what he is now. But I'm saying when he was in his prime, and where people were really digging him, they're buying the legend now. You know what I mean? The legend still rolls on.
Yeah,
but that's what he was to people.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. I think that's why he got the popularity that he did.
With that, he was kind of a personable dude.
Well, it's funny because my mother-in-law, she's passed away a few years ago, but she loved Bill Clinton.
Oh.
And we had conversations about this. And I'm like, okay, so let me ask you. Okay, let's just forget Bill Clinton. But say your daughter, which is now my wife, went to Washington, D.C. to work for the government as an intern. Okay? And then you and your husband are sitting at home watching TV, okay? And the news is interrupted.
Right.
Breaking news story. President accused of having sex with a young intern.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, your daughter's pictures flashed up on this screen.
How pissed off are you at that point?
Yeah. Where do you feel you're going to land with this president on that, okay? I said, because, we're laughing and making fun of the fact that we'd all want to be that guy when we know we really could never be that guy.
Yeah. It's a fantasy that people are living out in their heads,
right?
But in reality, it's a bullshit deal.
So what is the most powerful hold you can have on somebody to stay on your team and not run away from you?
Control their perception.
That's right. That, and also to have the dirt on it.
Yeah.
Well, you remember we were at this party.
Yeah.
You remember that?
High five, Graham. We tag team now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so what ends up happening...
Eiffel Towered that bitch.
I'm telling you. But that's how it works with that bunch. Because remember we talked about this earlier about the about the closed door stuff they do, the whole Kavanaugh thing where they're talking about fraternal organizations, and how could Bush Sr. and Clinton be such good friends, because they were a member of the same fraternal order.
Exactly.
And they did the same rights that those people at that level do.
Exactly.
Right.
It was all about the blackface, and people were like, what do you mean? What's so big about the blackface? Well, they take Southern Democrats.
Yep.
And the Northern elites make them prove their allegiance to the party. It's a punishment to a Southern Democrat, is what it basically is. And I don't care. You can Google fact check it. I really don't give a fuck. That's what they do.
No, it's true.
It's exactly what they do.
It's all about digging it up. That's why you got to reveal your most inner secrets.
There you go,
dude. They're recording that stuff. So that way, when you're on that way when you're a senator, they can say, "Well, back in college, let me hit the play button for you."
And the thing is, if you have no dirt, you cannot be controlled.
That's right.
And that's why they don't let you in. That's why you don't get in.
There you go. That's how you don't get in. And that's
why we're dealing with what we're dealing with now in the media.
Exactly. It's the good old boys club. It really is. And it's sad because, again, I would like to know what this young lady knows.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's getting away with shit that most people would have never gotten away with.
Maybe she inherited it. Maybe her grandfather was somebody, or
her
dad
bandwidth. Well, no, I think she was a victim.
Waterboarding is a viable technique.
There you go. Some people call that foreplay. It really is. You just never know. But yeah, so anyway, that's where we're feeling with her. But I kind of want to come back to a story that we talked about a couple weeks ago, and that was the privileged parents with the college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And so a story's been rolling around about a lot of them are hiring a prison coach.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
that's how we got the Prison Mike thing going on.
Yeah, that was where Prison Mike. That's where Prison Mike got started. And what I think is funny is that a lot of them are like, this is serious.
Yeah.
This guy literally did time.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's coming out, and so his job is to prepare you for prison life.
Remedial prison school.
You got to think
culture training.
Can you imagine the class environment of that?
Oh, it's got to be entertaining.
I'm just looking at the instructors.
No.
Can you just picture what the instructors look like?
Chappelle's got to be one of them.
Think about it. It's like, okay, class, settle down. We got a full class today.
Yeah. I just sit there and I'm just going, wow. And this guy's got to be making big coin on this thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because if you're going to pay to get your kid into a college, you're going to pay now to, because it keeps reminding me of that movie with was it Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell?
Yeah, he was teaching him how to be in prison.
Yeah, teaching him how to be in prison. That was kind of funny. And then what was another one? There was another movie out there, The New Guy.
The New Guys.
That was with Eddie Griffin. That was hilarious.
I hadn't seen
The New Guy is the Ross.
They had Ross Patterson in it.
Patterson,
yeah, it had Lyle Lovett, Ross Patterson,
the guy from oh my god, the rap movie.
Yeah,
I forget. DJ something or other. DJ whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like the skinny kid.
Qualls, DJ Qualls. DJ Qualls.
And so he was under the tutelage of some dude. He was showing him how to throw a look, like that.
Horatio Sands was in it.
Oh my god, that guy's hilarious.
That was a funny movie. It was filmed in Texas.
Okay.
Texas movie.
I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a blockbuster, I will tell you that. Zooey Deschanel was in it.
Yeah.
And
it was a hilarious.
It was a funny movie. It's on Netflix actually.
I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, so I just sit there and I'm going, man. I mean, we're putting parents, and people are shocked the way I'm coming down on this one, because honestly, we're beating up Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman over this. To me, this is a minor crime.
Yeah,
this is a crime that you
slap a fine
on them, and you put them in, but. To watch what these other guys are getting away with,
right?
That's the killer part, and it's funny. It's funny watching politicians, come out and scold these people. That's the best part of it. It's like, wait a minute, y'all have a slush fund for covering up your humps.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was.
You're gonna lecture people?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Anyway, it's just one of those things. We can spin this thing all the way down the toilet drain because it's just really where it's going. But I don't know. Like I said, it's just we're just gonna have to sit back and just kind of see what happens throughout this next week on this this whole heartbeat thing, because I don't think she has the support.
Nope.
I don't think she keeps,
especially in that section of country.
She named 3 people of very minor significance in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right.
Ron Perlman,
Ron
really?
Perlman,
Hellboy.
And Bradley
Come on,
Whitford.
the last 2 of those have sucked.
So I don't know. So anyway, we'll go ahead and close this with our bottom of the barrel of the week. And Alyssa, unfortunately, sweetheart, you won that one.
Thank you for being the shit stick.